Using feet on the beam only, maneuver the bar until one side is resting on the far black mat before walking along the beam to dismount to the black mat. The bar must be on there when you dismount off it. Up next, coming along to the rings, use at least the first and last ring to get from platform to platform without making contact with the big black box in the middle. First and last ring must be used. Up next, jumping out or reaching for the trapeze bar, complete a lache transfer to the PVC pipe, and from the PVC pipe, lache to the second trapeze bar, and then dismount to the red mat, red platform. Up next, walk along the balance beam and then onto the two PVC pipes to dismount to the blue mat to finish the obstacle. Jumping out to the multi-grip, grab on the outside of the grip only and complete a lache to all three of the grips before dismounting to the red platform. Not allowed to grab in between the straps, just on the outside below the straps. Now jumping out to the rope or reaching for it using hands and feet as needed to get to the big wheel and then onto the rings and dismounting to the platform from the last ring. Next, use the two trapeze bars to get to the flying bar, completing a lache between the first two trapeze bars, and then transferring however you like to the flying bar. Complete 3 moves with the flying bar, getting both sides of the bar in the final set of cups before dismounting to the red dismount platform. Finally, you get 3 attempts to run up the warp wall, grabbing onto the top lip and climbing over to the top. 30 seconds rest between each count. That is the highest warp wall for this age group. And hitting the X on the wall to end your run officially. Using feet only, traverse to the middle of the device and transfer the beam all the way to the far black mat. Once the end of the device is resting on the black mat, you can walk along it and transfer to the black mat to dismount. Up next, coming along to the rings, you're going to use at least the first and last ring to get from platform to platform, but you have to make sure you don't make any contact with the black box in the middle at all. Consider the black box to be water, so you must stay up high to avoid that and use the first and last ring to get from platform to platform. Up next, jumping out to the trapeze bar, complete a lache to the PVC bar, and then another lache to the next trapeze bar before dismounting to the red platform. From there, walking along the beam and transferring to the true PVC pipes before dismounting to the blue mat. Jumping out to the outside of the grip, complete a lache transfer to the second and third of these holds, not grabbing in between the straps, have to grab below the straps on the outsides only, and then dismount from the last one onto the red mat. Finally, either jump out to the rope or climb up the truss and climb along the bar to reach the rope, using hands and feet as needed on the rope, and transfer from the rope up to the big wheel, and then use as many or as few of the remaining rings as needed to get to the last ring before dismounting to the red dismount platform. So using the last ring to dismount onto the platform. Up next, jumping up to the trapeze bar, complete a lache to the second trapeze bar, and then reach up or lache to the flying bar, and complete a lache with the flying bar to the second set of cups before dismounting to the blue mat to finish the obstacle. Both sides must be in the cups. Finally, 3 attempts on the second biggest warp wall to climb up the top and hit the X to finish your run. Up next, using your feet only, walk along to the middle of the device and pivot it to the middle of the 3 mats. So pivot it just to the side until the end is resting on the black mat before walking along and dismounting to the black mat. From there, going along to the rings, where you have to use at least the first and last ring to get from platform to platform without making contact with the black box in the middle, which will be considered water. First and last ring, dodging the black box and getting to the dismount platform. Super straightforward, skipping the middle is fine. Up next, jumping out to the trapeze bar, complete a lache transfer to the PVC pipe, and from the PVC pipe, you're going to complete a lache transfer onto the blue mat. No need to use that second trapeze bar. Up next, walking along the beam and then on the 3 pipes to get to the blue platform. You do have to use all the 3 pipes, no skipping on that one. Grabbing the interior of the grip, complete a lâcher or transfer statically by swinging through to the third of these grips and then dismount from the third one onto the red mat. Then either climb the truss and climb out to the bar to reach the rope or jump straight to the rope if you think you can make it. And from there, transfer to the big wheel and use as many or as few of the remaining rings as you like to get to the last ring before dismounting to the platform from the last ring. Hands and feet are obviously allowed on the rope, and using one or both of these rings to get to the last ring and then dismounting to the red mat. Up next, jumping out to the trapeze bar, complete a lâcher to the second trapeze bar, and then transfer to the flying bar, which will move, so be sure you catch it carefully. You can do this either statically or lâcher to the flying bar, whatever you need to do to transfer. From there, complete a dismount to the blue mat to finish the obstacle. Up next, you want to run up the second biggest warp wall, 3 attempts to get to the top and hit the X to finish your run.